Welcome on back to Up North at 4. Joining me now is Mike Romportl from the Rhinelander Lions Club. The Fisheree, the annual Fisheree, is coming up this weekend. Mike, I just got to ask, what is going on here on Saturday?
Well, it's the 47th annual Rhinelander Lions Fisheree. It's on Saturday, February 11th, 2023. It's a one-day event. We used to have 2 days, but after COVID, we scaled it back to one-day event. And a lot of the participants like just the one-day event. Mm-hmm. The hours of operation are 6:30 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. at night. And the headquarters is going to be down at Hodag Park in the Boom Lake Boat Landing at 598 Rose Street if you need an address to punch in to locate that. Perfect. And as far as the fishing tournament itself, there's $2,600 in total prize money. It's the longest fish in the following categories. So the northern is the one that is highly prized. The first place is 600, second is 400, third 3, fourth 200, fifth 150, and sixth is 100. And we do get occasionally walleyes. It's not the best time to fish walleyes during the day, but starting at 6:30, there's a possibility that somebody can get some early morning walleyes in after 6:30, obviously. And we pay out $125 for that. And then we have the crappie, perch, bluegill. And this year we added a new division, and it's the bass because this happens on Bass and Boom Lake and part of the Wisconsin River up to Pine Harbor. That's the boundaries.
Okay. So there is a limit to where you can go, obviously, for this tournament. And I was kind of curious then. I don't know if you'd hit on this or not. How do you judge the winner? Is it based on length of the fish, the actual total weight, or how does this all kind of work here?
It's all based upon the length of the fish. We have a measuring device in the pavilion down at the Babe Ruth Field. It's the closed pavilion that we use, and people bring their fish in there. And then if there's a tie, we usually we record the time that the fish was caught, and the earliest one that was registered breaks the tie. Okay. There's a number of outlets then where you can pick up your entry ticket around town. We have Mel's Trading Post. We have the West Side Shell. We have the Kemp Street VP. We have the Hodag Pump and Pantry on North Stevens, the Holiday Gas Station, River Street Tap, Hodag Mobile, the Fishing Hole, J&T's Bait and Tackle. So there's a number of places there you can get your pre-entry ticket, your entry ticket prior to 6:30 a.m. on February 11th. After 6:30 until 10, you can get a late entry ticket for $25. The early entry is $20.
Okay, so you can save a little bit of money if you go and get it sooner rather than later, is what I'm hearing. Is there a cutoff at all? Is there a limit where you're like, this is way too many people? I don't even know if we can handle this much.
No, we don't have a cutoff. We usually run in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 people entries each year. This year, you have to be 11 years and older or over 11 years in order to participate in the cash event. We have a free kids event, though, that we do, which works out very well for some of the people that want to bring their children out, because we see a lot of families out on the weekend. And that free event starts at 9 o'clock and runs till 3 o'clock. And we have hourly prizes when a child brings in a fish to enter into the category, as I mentioned above. The kids will be able to be eligible for some non-cash prize.
Oh, very nice. So you mentioned before, this is the 47th Fisheree that's taking place. Yes. I feel like this, you brought up the kids event. It raises the question for me. Has there ever been a moment where a kid has caught a fish bigger than any of the anglers in the adult fishery?
I don't recall any in the 20-some years that I've been doing that, but there's been some kids that bring in some nice northern, not as large as the adults, though.
Okay. So there's been a maybe not some winners in the kids contest where they've gotten, but they've gotten some nice fish is what I'm hearing. Well,
Oh,
that's
yes.
great to know. So Mike,
Yes.
I got to tell you right now, I'm not a fisher. My idea of fishing is usually going out and drinking beer with my buddies and not catching anything because none of us are really good anglers. So for me, as someone who is a complete and utter novice when it comes to fishing, especially in a tournament setting, what kind of advice would you give to someone like myself to maybe win some cash here this weekend?
Well, what you got to do, you got to hook up with your buddies that know how to fish.
Okay.
And then the
Fair enough.
second thing you do is you look for the nicest fishing shack that's out on Boom Lake, because they probably have it figured out, and you might want to congregate in that area.
Got it.
But you certainly are going to have to find a good fishing partner, some perhaps Jeff over there or Conrad. They know how to fish, don't they?
I'll have to put him to the test. Maybe, Conrad's a loose cannon. I can hardly ever get control of him. Jeff, meanwhile, he's all over the board, Mike. You got to realize that about Jeff Weller. He's a hard guy to pin down, but maybe I could convince him to become a fishing expert for me, or a guide, I guess, if you will.
Well, what we would request from them though is some good weather.
Okay.
It's looking promising compared to last year, what we had to deal with below zero weather and wind chills.
Mm-hmm.
So ask Jeff and Conrad to order up some good weather.
I'll see what they can do. I think I can put it on their desk to make sure it gets the word gets along to them. So, Mike, I do appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with me. Of course, we love all the work that you guys are doing with the Lions Club here in town. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a break on Up North at 4. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Nate.